Thanks so much, April. Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this morning we're bringing attention to some people whose jobs you may not realize can take a toll on their mental health. We're talking about telecommunicators, also known as 911 dispatchers. So this morning we have some dispatchers here in the studio joining us to talk about their lives and their jobs. I'm so thrilled to welcome Kristen and Brenna. Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you just for coming to shine a spotlight on this. I think when we think of first responders, a lot of times we think about cops and firefighters, and those jobs are very important, but you guys are really the lifeline behind getting everyone and all those crews out to where they need to be. Tell us about your job and what it's like to be a 911 dispatcher.
So in a nutshell, it is imperative to get that information in as quickly as possible, getting the accurate information, getting it out so we can dispatch and get those wheels on the road. So it is the life safety aspect of it. People don't call us on their best days, they call us on their worst days. So we just try and do our best to process that as quickly as possible.
And we have to manage the chaos from the beginning of the call and then to the, well, tell first responders with the paramedics, firefighters, officers arrive to the scene. So, you know, we don't exactly get that closure. We're just trying to handle it to help them out and help our community too through their traumatic times.
How overwhelming can it be when maybe it's an especially busy day or there's a big situation going on and you guys are handling all those calls? What does that feel like when you're just trying to get all the wheels in motion and kind of stay even keeled and get the job done?
It becomes focusing on policy and procedure. When the average truck or fire truck as crew is running maybe 10 to 15 calls on a shift, on a 12-hour shift, and you're looking at 50 to 70 calls from a 911 dispatcher, from all the different types of calls that they're handling and processing and then dispatching those units. So you don't get that closure like she was talking about. You just, that policy and procedure really just steps up and steps in, and it keeps you focused, and then you deal with the trauma or the mental or the stress side of it after the fact.
What does that look like when you get home and you take a sigh of relief when the day is over? How do you feel mentally?
Exhausted. It's overwhelming some days. You have the best of events where we get to bring in new life or assist with bringing in new life. We've had babies that were born with our 911 dispatchers on the phone because the crews haven't gotten there yet, and they get to do the great end of it, but then the next phone call may be an end of life situation. So it's really difficult, that trauma part of it, or that stress part of it. But that's where your mechanisms and your resources that we try and teach and share with everybody we come into such a big play. It's your outlet, your family, your resources, the emotional, and then of course if you need more.
Stop Our Stigma, a great nonprofit in the Valley.
Absolutely.
How has that helped, and what kind of tools have you shared in your mental health toolkit that have gotten you guys at a good place where you can handle the job every day?
I think having resiliency is important. And it's also important to understand that we do need that support, and it's okay to be able to ask for that help. And that's where Stop Our Stigma, SOS, has been able to provide that awareness, for us first responders, as well as even for the community, so that people understand that, it's okay that we're human, that we do have that emotional tie to these calls.
And we are blessed that is being with the city of Mesa, because actually Mesa Fire Medical really and the city of Mesa have stepped forward and made sure that we have resources. It's still a nationwide concern with reclassifying 911 dispatchers as public safety personnel. So that does limit our access, but they have gone above and beyond to really kind of step in and fill those gaps and provide those resources to give us that mental well-being. Everything from teaching nutrition classes and yoga to actual clinical processes.
It's so important to take care of yourself outside of the job, so when you do go to the job, you can show up and be 100%. You guys, thank you so much for coming and sharing. We really appreciate it. I want to encourage our viewers to check out Stop Our Stigma, support an amazing nonprofit here in the Valley. They do great work for our first responders, and thank you guys both so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Always remember, 988 is there if you need help and you're struggling. Tess, I'll send it back to you.
Such important information.